Caitlin Clark's new Wilson signature collection, the bigger story. Caitlin Clark just got something most basketball players can only dream about. Not another endorsement. Not another commercial. Not another jersey with her name on it. An entire basketball collection built around her identity as a player. And the way Wilson introduced it may be even more interesting than the product itself. Because this campaign isn't really about Caitlin Clark selling a basketball. It's about turning the most recognizable part of her game, that deep, effortless shooting arc, into a brand of its own. And once you see how Wilson pulled it off, you'll understand why this feels like a much bigger moment for women's basketball. The new Caitlin Clark Signature Series 3.0 officially launched on August 19th. And Wilson didn't play it safe. The campaign opens with a simple message. Your arc is beautiful. That line immediately tells you what this entire commercial is going to be about. The basketball rises. It bends through the air. The camera follows its path. And eventually, it finds the net. It's a perfect visual representation of Clark's game. Because if there's one thing that has become synonymous with Caitlin Clark, it's her range. She doesn't need to be standing near the three-point line to threaten a defense. She can pull up from deep. She can create space off the dribble. She can launch a shot from distances that force defenders to completely rethink how they guard her. So instead of giving us another generic athlete commercial, Wilson built the entire campaign around that one signature element. Her arc. Her shot. Her journey. And that's what makes the campaign feel different. But the polished commercial is only half the story. The behind-the-scenes footage reveals just how much work went into making those few seconds look effortless. And this is where things get interesting. Because Clark isn't simply standing in front of a camera holding a basketball. Wilson built an entire production around her. Professional lighting. Multiple cameras. Haze surrounding the court. Different shooting angles. And Clark right in the middle of it all. Then she gets the basketball. And suddenly, everything changes. She gets into her stance. The movement begins. The release comes. The follow-through stays perfectly controlled. And the ball drops through the net. Then she does it again. And again. And again. That's something fans rarely think about when they watch a sports commercial. A shot that looks effortless on screen might have taken dozens of attempts to capture. The athlete has to repeat the same movement. The camera has to be positioned perfectly. The lighting has to stay consistent. The timing has to match. And every angle has to be captured. Yet Clark somehow makes the entire process look like another day on the basketball court. That's important. Because she isn't pretending to be a basketball player for the commercial. She doesn't have to act like one. She already is one. And that authenticity is exactly what makes the campaign work. But then Wilson takes the idea one step further. The Signature Series 3.0 isn't just a single basketball with Caitlin Clark's name printed across it. Wilson introduced 3 distinct designs: Hoist, Anchor, and Fuse. Each one has its own personality. Hoist is built around a more refined, tactile feel. Anchor focuses more heavily on performance and control. And Fuse combines performance with a more distinctive visual identity. That might sound like a small detail. It isn't. Because this changes the entire meaning of the partnership. This isn't simply a company putting Caitlin Clark's name on an existing product. Wilson created a collection around her .3 basketballs. 3 identities. 1 athlete. And that makes it feel much closer to a true signature line than a typical celebrity collaboration. There's another reason this moment matters. During Wilson's WNBA All-Star Weekend activation, Clark got to see the collection up close while interacting with fans. And that's when the significance of the whole thing really became clear. Caitlin Clark was being introduced as the first female athlete to have her own signature basketball collection with Wilson. Think about that for a second. A basketball collection. Not shoes. Not clothing. Not a lifestyle product. A basketball. The actual object connected to the sport that made her famous. And now that object carries her identity. Clark's reaction was surprisingly simple. She called it cool. And described the moment as a full-circle experience. But behind those few words is a much bigger story. Before the massive crowds. Before the commercials. Before the brand partnerships. Before becoming one of the most recognizable athletes in basketball. There was just a kid playing the game. Taking shots. Missing shots. Making shots. Practicing over and over. Slowly building the skills that would eventually become her identity. And now, years later, that same sport has produced something with her name on it. That's the part that makes this partnership feel special. She didn't simply become the face of a basketball advertisement. She became the name behind an entire basketball collection. And that represents something bigger than marketing. It shows how far her basketball journey has taken her. But there's another layer to this. The timing. Caitlin Clark's influence has expanded far beyond what happens during a game. Her visibility has exploded. Her fan base has grown. And major brands have clearly recognized the attention surrounding her. But a signature collection with a major basketball company carries a different kind of weight. Because the product actually belongs to her sport. It's something fans can pick up. Something they can play with. Something they can take onto a court. And now, when they do, they're holding a basketball associated directly with Caitlin Clark. That creates a much stronger connection than a normal endorsement. It's personal. It's physical. And it becomes part of the culture around the game. Which brings us to the bigger story. Women's basketball is changing. The business around the sport is changing. And moments like this show just how quickly that transformation is happening. Not long ago, the idea of a female basketball player getting an entire signature basketball collection from a major brand would have felt unusual. Now, Caitlin Clark has one. And Wilson isn't treating it like a side project. They're building an entire campaign around it. They're giving the collection its own identity. And they're connecting the product directly to the thing that makes Clark recognizable on the court. Her shot. Her range. Her arc. Even the campaign's language is built around that idea. The ball travels through the air. The path curves. The story moves forward. And eventually, everything connects with one final message. It is your destiny. That's where the marketing becomes storytelling. Because Clark's arc isn't just the path of a basketball. It's also the path of her career. A young player. A rising star. A record-breaking college career. A professional basketball superstar. And now, a signature collection carrying her name. The arc becomes a metaphor. And suddenly, the commercial isn't just showing a shot. It's showing a journey. That's smart branding. Because Wilson doesn't have to spend 30 seconds telling you why Caitlin Clark is special. They don't need a dramatic speech. They don't need to tell you that she can shoot. They just show her doing it. The ball leaves her hand. The camera follows it. The net moves. And that's enough. Sometimes the athlete's actual skill is the advertisement. And Caitlin Clark gives Wilson plenty to work with. The behind-the-scenes footage makes that even more obvious. You see the waiting. The cameras moving around the court. The lighting setups. The repeated movements. The different shooting angles. And then, almost instantly, Clark switches into performance mode. That's harder than it looks. A basketball game gives an athlete something a commercial doesn't. Pressure. Defenders. A crowd. A scoreboard. A reason for every movement. A commercial gives you a camera and says, "Do it again." Perfectly. And Clark handles it naturally. That's probably why the finished commercial feels so smooth. There's no sense that she's forcing it. The movements look natural because they are natural. She's simply doing what she has spent years doing. Shooting a basketball. And that's ultimately why the Wilson campaign works. It doesn't try to manufacture Caitlin Clark. It takes something that already exists and turns it into a story. Her shooting arc was already recognizable. Her range was already part of her identity. Wilson simply found a way to build a visual world around it. And now that idea lives inside an actual collection. 3 basketballs. 1 signature name. And a moment that says something about where women's basketball is heading. So now the question is, does the Signature Series 3.0 actually feel like a Caitlin Clark product? Or does it still feel like another athlete collaboration with a famous name attached? And if you had to choose one, Which are you taking? Hoist, Anchor, or Fuse? Because whether you love the collection or think Wilson could have pushed the concept even further, one thing is difficult to ignore. Caitlin Clark's name is no longer just appearing beside basketball. Her name is becoming part of the basketball itself. And that's a pretty powerful milestone. The commercial may only last a few seconds, but what it represents could last much longer. Because this isn't just about one campaign. It's about how far the game has come. And how far Caitlin Clark might still have to go. Her arc is still rising. And if this collection is any indication, we may only be seeing the beginning. If you think Wilson captured Caitlin Clark's game perfectly, comment ARC. If you think the Signature Series 3.0 is one of the coolest basketball launches we've seen from a women's basketball star, comment 3.0. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like and subscribe. Because the next chapter of Caitlin Clark's story might be even bigger than the last.